MMA Now, Power Move, Film On TV Network.
I'm David Kano with MMA Now, and right now we're joined not with an MMA fighter, but one of the top boxers in the world, Robert Guerrero. How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Pretty good. This is kind of interesting. You have a mixture of MMA, top level MMA, and boxing. How is this experience for you?
It's been cool. It's been cool. You know, get to kind of experience, the MMA life a little bit and how that goes and stuff. It's nice. It's nice to, to clash two fight sports that, the fans love.
No, they're two grossly different sports. I know you fought Floyd Mayweather. They talked about a Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather boxing match. How does that go?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They asked me that earlier. I just said, you know what? It shouldn't be in a cage or in a boxing ring. They should throw that in a WWE match, wrestling ring. So
they would have a winner beforehand.
Yeah. So, I just think their styles wouldn't make a great fight, but it'll make a great, it'll be a huge draw from, the fans.
Well, let me ask you, you've reached the top. I mean, you've held belts, you fought one of the best pound-for-pound fighters maybe of all time, not but one of the best defensive so far. How do you know, what are your goals, and when do you know that, okay, I'm done, I can walk away from boxing?
You can't until they make you, man. You're a fighter. No, I'm joking.
Well, I mean, that's interesting because, like, you got some fighters were like Roy Jones, James Toney, Evander Holyfield. I think they went a little bit past what they should have.
Over the heel and to the bottom, and then started again. You just got to know when it's time, man. When you're taking too much punishment. I think every fighter knows when it's time, but they just don't want to face it. And like I've always said, I'm getting close to that tail end of my career and make the most of it right now. But when it's time, and I know it's time, then it's time to hang them up.
Now, for you, do you have something set up afterwards? Because I know something that I've seen, and it's a track record of boxers or pro fighters, when they get away, they don't know what to do. Like, because all you know is training and fighting and training and fighting. What will you do when you're done?
I think that's what happens to a lot of fighters is they don't know what to do, so they go back to boxing. What I like to do is my hobby since I was a kid is building cars, restoring classic cars, and that's what I do now also. When I'm outside of the boxing gym, I go and work on cars. I do anything from fabrication to frame-off restorations, and I've been doing it since high school, and it's one of the things I love to do. So that'll just give me a lot more time when I'm retired to do that.
Now, do you ever think about, like, in the NFL, there's a big research being done on CTE and concussions, and those guys have helmets on and pads, whereas boxers, you guys are going head-to-head. Does that ever cross your mind? Because there hasn't been research done on CTE and pro fighters and boxers. Does that cross your mind at all?
Nah, it doesn't cross my mind at all. I'm a fighter. I don't worry about stuff like that. But, it does take a toll on your body, and it's about being smart and, doing the right stuff you got to do, eating right, taking care of your body and, not taking a lot of punishment, move your head a bit, don't stand there and take the beatings. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. And, every fighter is going to tell you, every football player is going to tell you, like, hey, you know what? I'm good.
Now, going back to Mayweather and you fighting him, there's a movie coming out about Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. My opinion is I don't think Floyd would get through those guys. You got Hagler and Hearns, but you fought him, and probably in my mind the best defensive and probably the smartest boxer in the history of the sport. What are your thoughts on that? Is he the TBE, or as you've been in the ring with Mayweather?
I don't think he's TBE, but he is one of the best fighters, pound for pound throughout the history of boxing. I don't think he would have been able to last with the Duran or, a Ray Leonard, 15-round fights. It was just a different era and a different time, man. And for what he did in his era, you know, turned a lot of people off. You know, you had a Sugar Ray Leonard who he boxed, but he boxed right there in front of you. He didn't just move and throw one or two punches and move. So, you know, different eras, different guys, man. I think you know, the 15-round fights, I think they should have brought them back, man, because, you know, a lot of these guys are barely hanging in 10, 11, 12th round, you know, just surviving. And you put an extra 2-3 rounds on, I think that'd be done.
But wouldn't that be more pain and suffering for you? Because that means you would have to go 15 as well.
That's even better, man. Like I told you, we're fighters, man. We just want to fight.
Now, there's a big UFC event last weekend. I've seen you active on your social media on MMA fighters. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor. Did you watch that fight?
Yeah, I did, man. It was a great fight. It was a great one for the fans, you know, to see them, you know, just exchange it like that. It's funny man, I think there should be a part 3. I think there should be a 3.
Now, let me ask you, who did you think, the people are kind of split on this, who do you think won that fight?
I thought it was a close fight. It could have went either way. You know, I think Nate Diaz should have put a little more pressure and not try to just lay there a bit. But you know what? He started coming on strong. And, you know, he took a lot of shots, though.
There's been this talk amongst boxing and MMA that MMA's overtaking boxing and from the fans' perspective. But do you see that happen? Do you see MMA overtaking boxing, or do you think that boxing will be able to sustain over the years?
Oh, most definitely boxing is going to sustain. You know, MMA it's blowing up big, man. It's doing great. It's exciting. But I don't think boxing will ever die. You know, I just think it's in everybody's nature to just watch a fight all the time. I don't care if you're walking down the street, you see somebody fighting, you're going to stop. And, you know, especially how Al Heyman brought PBC. You know, there's more fights on network TV. And they're not just any fights. They're championship fights. The best fighters fighting. And that's the type of things that people want to see. And, I mean, you look at Errol Spence Jr., who just fought last week, you know, brought in over 4 million views. Come on. And he's still coming up. So I don't think boxing's not going to die anytime soon.
No, wrapping up. If there's one fighter in the history of boxing you could get in the ring with, who would that be and why?
Muhammad Ali, man. He's the great. He's the legend. You know.
You would get in the ring with Ali?
Heck yeah, man. I'll take that beating. Part of, you know.
I mean, he has like, what, 40, 50 pounds on you?
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe 60, because you're like 147.
But realistic fight, you know, it'd be a Mayweather fight again. You know. And like I said, you know, in my era, he is the best fighter.
What would you do differently if you got that fight again?
Try to find some fast guys, man, because he is quick. He's extremely fast, and it's unbelievable, his reaction time.
I was at the Maidana Mayweather 1, or both of them, and I thought Maidana was up like 7-5, 8-4 because of his aggression. Is that the key to beating Floyd, and did you even saw that fight that way?
No, I looked at it as Floyd was sandbagging that fight to make another fight like he just did, and at the end I just started laughing because I knew there was going to be another big one rematch, and the next fight he wasn't even going to touch Floyd. So, and that's exactly what happened. Floyd's a smart businessman, man. That's one of the things he is. But it was a good fight, though. I mean, it was a good fight. Drew a lot of people in for the second one, and you know, Floyd did his thing.
Now the Ghost, did you get that nickname, that moniker, because of your skin tone, or is it because of how fast you were?
You're looking at my dad. Nah, I got the Ghost when I was 9 years old, just being really fast, slick in the ring, tagging the kid up. I'll be off to the side, tag him up, and kid comes back and tells his coach, he's like a ghost. I don't see him. He's there, and then he's hitting me, and I don't know where he's at. So in the gym, they just started calling me the Ghost, and it's stuck ever since. But it does go pretty good at the skin color. You see all my brothers and my dad, they're all dark.
But another thing, too, is the Ghost, you become kind of you stay in the pocket, though. Your last fight, you got cut. They stopped the fight because you're cut. but you stand in there and you trade. You don't just kind of elude anymore.
Yeah, I started to veer away from that, man. You know, using my legs, using the lateral movement, and you know, that's what I'm getting back to. I did that the last 2 camps. You know, it's one of the things I need to get back to because it was really, really hurting me standing there. You know, and just trying to mow guys down and just exchange on the inside, especially coming from 122 pounds all the way to 147 pounds. I'm not the bigger guy no more, and I'm trying to be.
Robert Guerrero, we wish you the best tomorrow, and thanks so much.